RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Lou Mauser, your local farmer's insurance agent. ConocoPhillips, energy for tomorrow. Roberts Motors, the value store since 1949. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Alton Memorial Hospital, the best health care close to home. Weber Granite City Chevrolet. United Methodist Village, where living is easy. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy in Wood River, caring beyond prescriptions. Gerard Fisher American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Andy's Auto Body in Alton and Maryville, we can fix anything. Alton Toyota, Toyota makes the car, Munganast makes the difference. And the Chuck West Agency, helping business owners for over 46 years.
We mentioned the infield defense. Tobin's out in left, Caldwell in center, and McKinney in right field today for the Eagles. Again, the wind whipping around the ballpark, and out here, the wide open area out here off of Culp Lane and Bethalto, and the throw over to first and the runner back. Sam Johns is holding the runner on at first base with the catcher, Joe McCall, at the dish. McCall ready, breaking ball, strike in there, strike one.
Metro East Lutheran maybe looks to be a little bit aggressive with the base running here. Nice leadoff we've seen a couple of times for the men at first base.
Their head coach down at third is Scott Downing for Metro East. Again, a record of 8-5 on the year. Swing and a high fastball up in his eyes, and he missed it, 0-2. Dusty Shimkus will be next. Then the shortstop bats fifth, Matt Brynildson. Then it's Chris Hoffman, the left fielder, batting sixth. Brian Berry, the second baseman, will hit seventh. Andy Scheinman, the designated hitter, will bat eighth, and he'll hit for the pitcher, John Trampy. And Simon Hoffman in right field will bat ninth. We mentioned John Trampy, the pitcher. He's the pitcher that faced Roxana when we were on the air down at GCS Ballpark in Sauget. Swing and a pop foul back and out of play, and it remains 0-2 here with 1 on, 1 out for Metro East. We're in the top of the first inning. The Knights making the bus trip from Edwardsville to Bethalto. 0-2 pitch coming to McCall. Swinging a line drive, and it's over the head of the shortstop, Abel. Judge will stop at second base. A clean single to the outfield grass over the shortstop's head.
Well, it was a good rip by McCall, line drive, like you said, right over the shortstop's head. A good effort by the CM shortstop, Abel, to try and make the effort, but just couldn't get up high enough. Good job by the center fielder, Caldwell, to cut that off and not allow the runner to advance to third.
But now the cleanup hitter, Dusty Shimkus. Good hitter, and latest numbers we have, 21 out of 42, and that's 500 for the batting average. Swing and a pop-up here. The wind's going to play some tricks on this one. Right fielder in, though, and a nice running catch behind the second baseman for right fielder Jack McKinney, who took charge right away. 2 out now with 2 on, and that one looked like trouble off the bat. Brynildson now the batter, the shortstop. Digs in from the right side and ready to roll with 2 on, 2 out. Right-handed batter is ready. Right-handed pitcher Perez is ready. Here's the stretch. Foul ball backing out of play, and it looks like these Knights are aggressive at the plate, swinging the bat. We know CM likes to swing the bat, and they don't take a lot of walks.
Well, with Metro East, with a runner in scoring position here, they really want to try and put the ball in play to see if they can't advance him to third, or maybe even try and drive in a run here in the top of the first.
Breaking ball, and it sails outside off the plate there. So it's 1-1 to the Metro East shortstop. 2 outs, 2 on. And the stretch. Perez looks in, gets the sign, swing and a foul. Good fastball there, tailing in on the right-handed batter. 1-2.
Saw Wolfel at second base for the Eagles make an adjustment there just before the pitch, trying to close that gap a little bit between first and second base.
2 strikes and a ball now with 2 on, 2 out. Perez looking to shut down the inning right here, right now. Breaking ball, tapped foul, third base side, and batter stays alive. That was a tough pitch at 1-2, but he's still alive with 2 on, 2 out.
Making the pitcher work.
Top of the first inning, and folks still filing in to check out the Knights and the Eagles. Bright sunshine. There's a line drive to right to McKinney. Didn't have to move much. It was hit hard, but right at the right fielder to end the top of the first. Metro East with a hit, a walk, but they leave 2, and they do not score. The Eagles coming up in the bottom half of the first inning. No score in Bethalto. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Does your auto insurance meet your needs? Is your homeowner's policy covering everything you need it to? Call your local farmer's agent, Lou Mauser, today. He can review your coverages and identify potential gaps and let you know how Farmers Insurance can cover all your insurance needs. Call Farmers Insurance agent Lou Mauser today at 463-7570 or stop by his office that is located across the road from Alton High School. When you need the best insurance at reasonable prices, think of your local Farmers Insurance agent, Lou Mauser.
We're defined by what we pass on to the next generation. The ConocoPhillips Wood River Refinery is a proud neighbor of the Riverbend region. Their employees produce and distribute quality refined products throughout the Midwest in an environmentally safe manner. By using innovative refining processes, they are ready to meet the energy challenges of the future, so we can pass on what matters most to the ones who matter most. ConocoPhillips, energy for tomorrow.
In a scoreless game here as we go to the bottom of the first inning.
Metro East was able to get a couple of men on base, one actually in scoring position, but were not able to capitalize. Perez threw a variety of pitches out there, some fastballs, a few breaking balls that seemed to come in a little high and break just a little bit late. Couldn't quite get any for a strike, but a pretty solid first inning, I'd say, for Perez.
We mentioned CM will play Mascoutah tomorrow here at home, then under the lights Friday night in Granite City, followed by a doubleheader up in Jacksonville Saturday. So busy this week and busy next week too. They have 3 conference games next week: Highland, Triad, and a makeup with Jerseyville. So lots of action for the Eagles as Standiford takes up and in ball 1.
High and tight that time. Standiford really not even backing away, just a little turn of the cheek.
Trampy, right-hander, wears number 4, and he throws a strike at the knees. Has a record of 3-1, 22 innings, has an ERA of 6. This is his 6th start, it looks like. Most starts on the team, and there's a strike on the outside edge as Standifer leans over the plate, watches it go by, and it's now 1-2 to the right-handed hitting third baseman. Trampy gets the sign from his catcher, McCall, swinging a line drive, base hit into center field as he fights that one off. Maybe a little bit up and in, but line drive to short center field.
Nice cut that time by Standifer, really being patient at the plate. A couple of balls come in, or actually a ball and 2 strikes come in, and he hadn't swung yet. And finds one that he likes and is all over it to a line drive into center field.
And now Zach Tobin steps to the plate. Yesterday, an RBI double in Wood River. He actually had 2 hits in the same inning, 2 hits in the 6th inning when the Eagles were on the fly, and now they throw over to first, and the ball gets away. There goes Standifer. He's on his way to second. He rounds it and heads for third, and he's there with nobody out as the Knights make a mistake.
Got to be careful in a pickoff situation like that. That's exactly what you don't want to happen, is to overthrow the first baseman or or the second baseman or third baseman for that matter if you're trying to pick them off at that particular base. But to be able to advance to second and then to third, just a mental error that time by Metro East Lutheran.
And a runner at third now with nobody out. Tobin has an RBI opportunity here right off the bat. First pitch is a ball. I was mentioning Tobin in Wood River yesterday, reached base all 5 times. He did ground out a couple of times, but he reached base, and he does here too. It's an RBI single, line drive to center field, 1-0 CM as Standifer comes in.
Nice rip that time by Tobin, dead center field, just over the second baseman's head, put it in play, and with the error, the pickoff error, the guy comes in from third, and CM takes an early lead here in the bottom of the first.
Here's Devin Caldwell. He had his hitting shoes on yesterday too, and he was the winning pitcher. He's now 3-0 on the mound as one of the assistant coaches for Metro East pitching coach goes to the mound to talk to Trampy here right off the bat. 2 batters, and we have a 1-0 game. As for Caldwell, he was 4 for 4 with a walk yesterday against the Oilers. He had 2 singles, actually 3 singles and a triple in Wood River, and he was the winning pitcher too. Caldwell, the center fielder today, digs in against Trampy here in the bottom of the first inning. 1-0, Tobin with his lead at first base. Throw over to first and the runner back. Judge at first, Barry at second, Brynildson at short, Shimkus at third, McCall the catcher, Trampy the pitcher. The stretch, pitch, popped up near home plate. Catcher McCall going over, and he overruns it and falls to the turf, and so does the baseball. It's a strike.
Yeah, it's got to be a hard high pop fly behind the plate. You're looking up, the sun's right in your eyes, so probably hard to locate it that quick, and he just, as you said, overran it just a smidge and unable to make the play.
You throw the wind in there with the sun, and then it's double trouble.
Absolutely. This wind's been kind of swirling, changing directions various times since we've been here this afternoon, and at times it's blowing out, towards the fences. Sometimes it's blowing in, or even just in a swirling pattern, and it's going to be hard for those high pop flies to really keep an eye on them.
Looks like it's blowing straight out to right, or at least to the right field foul pole. Right into that corner, and it is whipping here again today. Caldwell, 1 strike as he gets a new life. He popped it up behind home plate, but catcher could not make the play. Now he pops it up again. This one on the infield. Who wants it? Second baseman Brian Barry has dropped the baseball, and there goes Tobin to second, and that will be an error. And again, the sun and the wind, and Brian Barry with all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, that's a tough play right there, a high pop fly. We just talked about the difficulty, and that's just a play you really have to come up with. And Tobin with some nice speed, after tagging up at first base. I think he and just about everybody else here assumed that was going to be caught. When it wasn't, he was at top speed in almost 3 steps.
And so now, Metro East, 2 errors right off the bat. They have allowed 2 base runners. They've already allowed a run, too, in the game. 1-0, and the Eagles could get much, much more here as Sam Johns digs in.
No outs and a runner in scoring position.
Here's the pitch. Outside to Sam Johns, ball 1.
And we saw the pitcher twice in a row try and pick a man off at first. Obviously, he's probably not going to try and do that with a man at second, but I think he just needs to try and worry about getting the guy at the plate.
Get some outs. The Knights will go for any base here, whatever's the easiest. It's first and second with nobody out. Johns takes a strike. It's 1-1. Johns had 2 hits, 2 RBIs against the Oilers yesterday. Swing and a miss. This one dipping down below the knees. Strike 2. Designated hitter Ryan Cherry waits on deck. He will bat for Perez, the pitcher. Swing and a fly ball into right field. The right fielder Hoffman coming in near the right field line, makes the catch. Runner at second tags. And Tobin will stand up at third. He advances on the deep fly to right, 1 out.
Yeah, tough to hold the runner at second there. Hoffman pretty deep into right field there, just on the line, makes a play, gets the first out for Metro East Lutheran, but Tobin pretty fast and too fast for Hoffman to be able to throw him out at third base.
Chris Hoffman is in left, by the way. Simon Hoffman in right. Twin brothers playing in the corners in the outfield for Metro East. Outside, ball 1 to Cherry, the batter.
McCall with a little pump fake to first base to try and hold the runner.
"1-0 count. Cherry, right-handed batter. Metro East would like a ground ball and a shot at a double play. Now the runner going, pitches low and away. The throw to second, and second baseman lets it go through, and that'll be a run score as the ball goes into center field. Another error, and the base runner Caldwell ends up at third. 2-0 Eagles.
And I really don't know what the catcher is thinking there. When you have a man on third base trying to pick off a guy trying to steal second, it just doesn't make much sense to me. That almost automatically allows that guy from third to come in. And then with an errant throw like that goes all the way out to the grass, just not very heads-up baseball right there by Metro East.
It almost looked like the second baseman let it go through, like he heard somebody calling for it behind him, maybe the shortstop. There's a pop-up on 2-0. Cherry pops it up near the Metro East dugout, and it falls right in front of the dugout in the gravel there as the catcher, pitcher, first baseman all came over there to take a look.
Yeah, everybody was in the vicinity, but nobody able to come up with the ball.
2-1 to count. We have 1 out. We have 1 on, and the Eagles have already scored 2, but they've been given a lot of help. 3 errors. Unofficially, at least 3, but mental errors and some other problems, too, here for the defense. Runner at third, the stretch by Trampy, and hit by pitch. Cherry hit in the middle of the back as he turned away and hit him right between the 3 and the 0.
Well, that puts runners at the corners now for the Eagles, and still with just 1 out, scoring opportunity on the horizon. Chance to extend their lead a little bit.
Jesse Abel digs in, and Abel the shortstop for CM. He had a couple of RBIs in Wood River yesterday. The Eagles won that game 15-1 in 6 innings over Wood River.
As you mentioned, the Eagles can really put the runs up on the board.
Here's the pitch. High delivery, throw to first, runner back. Abel takes ball 1. Well, the Eagles want to be ready for tomorrow. That's the big one. The Mascoutah Indians in town from the Valley. And CM, a record of 1-0 in the conference. There's a strike at the letters. Throw to first again. Runner back. But you look at Highland, the favorite for the last couple of years, and they're already 3-0 in the conference after a win yesterday. They beat Waterloo yesterday 13-3. The Highland Bulldogs are on the move again this season. Runners at the corners, and the pitch gets away. It's in the dirt for a wild pitch, and Caldwell will score, and Cherry to second base. It's 3-0.
So the Eagles already getting some good run support on the board today. A lot of it coming from bad just mistakes from Metro East Lutheran, but I'm sure they'll take it either way. They're playing tough baseball out there, smart baseball, being disciplined at the plate.
Stretch by Trampy. The pitch inside to Abel. And the count's going to go to 3-1, so a wild pitch scores another run. A moment ago, it was an error that scored a run.
That wild pitch allowed the guy from third to come in and the man from first to advance to second, so we still have a guy in scoring position for the Eagles.
Check swing on a high delivery. 3-1 pitch is too high, and 3-1 to count. And that's ball 4. Abel goes to first.
That's a good job by Abel just to be patient. And I got to be honest, I thought the check swing, he may have came over just a little bit, but the umpire says no and lets him take first base.
Three runs in the inning, 2 on, and still only 1 out. And here is Wolfel to the plate. 1 RBI in the inning. The other run scoring on an error, another one on a wild pitch. The RBI for Tobin. It's 3-0, and Wolfel down a strike here and takes high. It's 1-1. 7th hitter of this first inning for CM. And the pitch on the way. Up and away, ball 2.
Wolfel really just needs to try and put something in play here, and I imagine the guy at second's going to have a chance to score the way the Eagles have been hitting.
Swing and a miss at a high fastball. May have been ball 3, but it's 2-2. 2-2 count with 2 on and 1 out.
Sometimes when you get those 2-0 counts, you just want to take a hack at one that's in your wheelhouse. Metro East changes the alignment.
Just outside for a ball, so that will fill up the count at 3-2, and Sam Allen waits on deck. The catcher. And we'll see if the runners go. There's only 1 out, but it is a full count. Here we go. Runner's not going. It's a chop to the right side. It gets through into right field. A runner, Cherry, around third to score. He'll score standing up, and it's 4-0. The other runner goes to third. RBI single for Wolfel the other way.
Nice cut that time by Wolfel. A nice little one hop that bounced right over the base runner's head. I don't think they could have timed that any better. Normally in a situation like that, you might see a runner stall or maybe duck a little bit, but it was a perfect bounce right over his head. I couldn't believe it, between first and second base. And the Eagles are on a roll now as the whole infield comes to the mound.
They're going to change pitchers here in the very first inning.
You don't see that a whole lot.
No, and a lot of it's not the pitcher's fault with all of the miscues around him on the infield. And in a 4-0 game, we're going to have a pitching change here in the first inning in Bethalto. We'll take a break. 4-0 Eagles over the Knights. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports. New pitcher for Metro East Lutheran here in the very first inning, and the left fielder Chris Hoffman going to come in and try his hand to stop the Eagles here in a 4-0 game. The Eagles already with 4 runs, 3 hits, but 3 errors for the Metro East Lutheran Knights. Also, Alex Robinson then will go out into left field and take the place of Hoffman, who comes in, and he will see what he can do on the mound. He's only pitched 2 innings, it looks like, the entire season, and he's going to face the 8 and 9 hitters now, Sam Allen and Jack McKinney, with runners at first and third, and the Eagles with the merry-go-round going. They've scored 4.
Yeah, I'm just a little confused about the pitching change. You mentioned it just before we went to break. The pitcher really hasn't played horribly. It's been the fielding that's been the disappointment for Metro East Lutheran so far. So I don't know how bringing in a different pitcher is going to make your defense any better, but maybe he can get them to hit some ground balls, easy ground balls to field, but we'll see if he can get some Eagles out at the plate.
I think Metro East is trying to change the momentum some way, somehow, as this pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. Sam Allen from the left side will bat here. Allen digs in, gets ready to go. Runners at the corners for the purple and gold. They lead the green and gold, 4-0 in the first inning. There's a strike called. Allen ready to go again. Checks his head coach. Coaching down at third, Gary Bruning. 4-0 score. The pitch on the way. Swinging a foul. The runner at first was going there. A little hit and run with the base runner.
Allen with a good cut, just a little behind, and got a piece of it off the end of the bat there.
Allen digs in, ready again. 1-2 the count. Runners at the corners again for CM. There's a fly ball to short left. The new left fielder coming on, and it'll drop in front of Alex Robinson. It's a bloop single to left. Another run in. The other runner stops at second. 5-0 score.
So CM still tacking runs on the board. This time a hard hit ball into short left field, and it's kind of a toss-up between who is going to be able to come up for it, the shortstop or the left fielder, and it literally just falls right in between them. I'm sure the breeze out here didn't help anything as far as trying to charge that ball, but Civic Memorial off to a great start here in the bottom of the first.
Well, Adam Matthews will run. He'll be the courtesy runner for the catcher at first. So Matthews at first. Wolfel moves up to second, and McKinney takes a strike as the Eagles have now batted around. They've scored 5. Yesterday they had a 5-run inning against the Oilers. They also had a 7-run 6th inning. Scored 15 runs in that 6-inning victory in Wood River. Well, they have 5 runs here in the first against Metro East.
Off to a good start, and it's going to be hard for Metro East Lutheran to battle back, with such a big deficit after just 1 inning, especially if they can't find a pitcher to get some strikeouts.
There's a little soft liner that gets through into center field, and the runners hold. The base is loaded on the single to center. McKinney with a hit. That'll bring up the top of the order.
So we went through the entire order now for the Eagles. We've got 5 runs. We've got 3 errors, and
1 out.
1 out and 1 pitching change.
That's right.
Pretty exciting inning.
Eagles keep it going here in the first with Drew Standifer, who started it with a single and a run scored earlier this inning. Ball down and in from Hoffman, ball 1.
The only bonus for Metro East Lutheran in a situation like this is if there's a ground ball, there's a play at any base. Obviously, you want to try to get to home first, but if you can't make that play, just go to your closest base and just get an out.
Down and in again, ball 2. Count. With the bases loaded, RBIs for Wolfel and Allen, Tobin this inning. Another run scoring on the air and 1 on a wild pitch. 5-0 score. There's a strike, and it's 2-1. Last 3 Eagles all have singles. Wolfel, Allen, and McKinney, the bottom of the order. 5 Eagles in a row have reached base. There's a chop toward third. It is a fair ball, bobbled by the third baseman. No play anywhere. And it's going to be 6-0, and the bases are still loaded.
I thought for sure he was going to have a play at the plate. He had good charge on it and was able to get the ball, just couldn't quite maintain the possession to deliver it to home plate. And the Eagles continue to roll here in the bottom of the first.
A bobble on the infield again. This time the third baseman, Shimkus, charging in on the grass. Now it's Tobin with the bases loaded. And inside, ball 1.
Right about now would be a nice time for Tobin to hit a line drive into one of the alleys, into a gap. Maybe clear these bases.
There's one to third, out at second, on to first, and safe off the bag. Base umpire, close call there, and Tobin safe at first. The runner out at second, so another run scores. 7-0 on the fielder's choice.
Well, it was a good effort to try and turn the double play that time. Almost had it, but Tobin just a little bit too fast down the first baseline. Beats it out, as we still have runners at the corners now for the Eagles. But now down to just 1 out. Maybe Hoffman just concentrates on this guy at the plate, try and get him out, and retire the side, and get yourself into the next inning.
Devin Caldwell, the batter, takes a strike on the outside corner. So Tobin with 2 RBIs in the inning. RBI single in the first earlier this inning, and then the RBI right there on the ground ball out. high to Caldwell. 1-1, 2 outs. It's a 7-run first inning. 6 of the 7 runs charged to Trampy. Inside for a ball. And while Trampy was in there, he only gave up 3 hits.
Disappointing for Trampy to get pulled out after that.
Line drive to short, and that ends the inning. For the Eagles, though, they send 12 to the plate, and they score 7. 7-0 after 1 inning. CM leading Metro East. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're now approaching the island of Bora Bora. Enjoy your stay.
This beautiful home contains 8 bedrooms, 2 family rooms, and a private jacuzzi just off the master bedroom.
Hey, anybody up for a cruise in my sweet boat?
What are you going to do with all the money you save from buying your car at Roberts Motors?
Roberts Motors in Alton or online at RiverBender.com.
Honey, who does our car insurance?
State Farm.
And what about our house?
State Farm, too.
And what about our life insurance?
Why do you ask?
Well, I've got something to tell you.
Bringing new life into the world is one of many great reasons to talk about life insurance. So contact your State Farm agent today. They'll help you choose the right coverage.
Contact Tom Lane to discuss all of your life insurance needs at 377-8912 across from Gino's 140 Club in Bethalto.
Metro East Lutheran back to the plate here, top of the 2nd inning. Welcome back to the Bethalto Sports Complex. And more baseball here on Z1570. Perez, the CM pitcher, delivers it high. It's 1-1. Also along for the ride today, RiverBender.com. John and Dan working hard around the ballpark too today. So check it out on the web. Right-handed pitcher Perez brings it to the lefty, and it's a ball. 2-1 here to Chris Hoffman. He's now the pitcher for Metro East. He'll be followed by Barry and Shyman. If anybody gets on, Simon Hoffman will bat. Bottom half of the batting order. There's a line drive, base hit into center field. The lefty with a sweet stroke there. Chris Hoffman with a single to center.
Yeah, nice cut that time by Hoffman to rip it in up the center there. Shortstop almost got a piece of the glove on it, but curved a little bit right over the second base and got him a single.
Now Perez will face Brian Barry, the second baseman. Barry digs in from the right side. Pitch on the way, swinging a foul off to the right and out of play. Sports Complex, busy place once again today. No softball out here today. CM softball team with a makeup game today, but it's at Jerseyville. But out beyond the right field fence, there is soccer going on. East Alton Wood River Oilers here for soccer against the CM Eagles today.
We've even got a JV game going on behind us here as well, so lots going on here at the Sports Complex.
Down in the dirt for a ball from Perez. 1-1 the count. Barry, Shyman, and Hoffman, the bottom 3 in the order now. Swing and a fly ball toward right field. McKinney into right center. He will call for it and grab it. Not an easy place to play in right field anyway today.
Definitely not with the sunshine and the wind. It's difficult conditions out there for an outfielder, but he's able to reel it in and get the first out of the inning for the Eagles.
That's 3 in a row. The last 3 outs have all gone to right field. To McKinney. 1 on, 1 out. Here's the designated hitter. Now batting for the left fielder, Alex Robinson. It is Andy Shyman. Pitch is low and away, ball 1. Tomorrow we're on the air with more baseball and softball too. For that matter, we have a doubleheader for you. It's the Shells and the Oilers. All the way around. Foul ball back to the screen. We'll start with baseball at 4 o'clock, and that will be from Wood River. Roxana and East Alton Wood River. Then we'll go to Roxana Park for tape-delayed play-by-play of the Lady Shells and Lady Oilers from Roxana in girls softball. So that doubleheader on the way tomorrow.
Perez with the pickoff attempt at first, but no go.
Runner at first and one down. Here's the pitch. Swing and a chopper foul, third base side. Strike two.
Metro East Lutheran sending the man running, so they're definitely trying to advance some runners and figure out a way to get a run on the board to close the gap a little bit after the Eagles put a big 7-run thumping on them in the bottom of the first.
Here's the next. Breaking ball. Strike three called as the curveball dropped right in there for strike three, 2 down.
So Perez with the first K of the day.
And that will bring in the number 9 hitter, Simon Hoffman, right fielder. Metro East scheduled to play Mount Olive and Gillespie this week. Play the Miners on Thursday. Strike one to Hoffman here. Top of the second inning. 7-0 in favor of the CM Eagles. With 7 in the first, there's a pop-up. Foul territory. Johns, the first baseman, wants it and has it. And that ends the inning for Metro East. They get a leadoff single, but they leave a runner on. They've left 3 already in 2 innings. It's the middle of the second inning, and our score, CM 7. Metro East, nothing. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
There's a long pass. It looks like it's going to be overthrown. Oh, the receiver dashes under the ball and makes the catch. Touchdown!
Where did he get that extra burst of speed? That off-season training really paid off.
Alton Memorial Hospital's Human Motion Institute Sports Performance helps athletes maximize their potential and improve their game. With sports performance training, you'll leap higher, run faster, and throw farther. Learn more at altonmemorialhospital.org. Human Motion Institute Sports Performance, building better athletes.
Hi, George Weber. Weber Chevrolet's year-end clearance is underway, making now a great time to save money when you buy and when you drive. Through the end of the month, we are offering the highest sales incentives of the year. And no matter what you hear in the media, believe me, our financing is still as available and aggressive as it's ever been, if not more. Combine that with our great incentives and you have the lowest payments of the year. And that's just the start of the great values at Weber Chevrolet in Granite City, Illinois. Or check us out on the web at webergc.com.
We go to the bottom of the second inning. Metro East back to the field for the second time as they committed 4 errors in the first inning. Also 5 hits for CM. It all added up to 7 runs for the Eagles. And now bottom of the second inning, and they still have Chris Hoffman on the mound, but now Shyman is the catcher. The catcher, McCall, moves out to left field. So McCall in left, Engelke in center, Simon Hoffman in right. The infield now, Shimkus at third, Bernildsen at short, Barry at second. Andrew Langendorf is now at first base. He takes over for Judge. And again, Shyman the catcher, Chris Hoffman the pitcher. And Metro East, right-hander Chris Hoffman. 2 balls, no strikes to Sam Johns here.
All that shaking up in the order in the lineup there for Metro East Lutheran. See if it'll pay off.
Just up the middle, beyond the pitcher's reach. Shortstop, over to first, out there. Johns hustling, but he's out by a half step. Shortstop to first.
Nice little play that time by the shortstop. Good hustle by the CM runner to try and leg it out. Just couldn't quite get there in time. Close call for the umpire.
Now it's Cherry, the designated hitter, batting for the pitcher, Perez. On deck, shortstop Abel. outside, ball one.
Really what Metro East Lutheran wants to do here is just make sure they don't have a bottom of the second that anyway resembles the bottom of the first, because if they do, they're in deep trouble.
Pitch, ground ball up the middle. Shortstop diving play, knocks it down, but Cherry will beat it out without a throw there, as that one was up the middle behind the second base bag. Diving try by the shortstop, but that's an infield hit for Cherry. He's on with one out.
Yeah, that's a good play by Brynildson there, just to try and stop it from getting into the outfield, keep the runner at first base. Almost was able to come up with the ball to make a play. Good hustle.
And here's Jesse Abel, the shortstop, swinging a foul straight back. Strike one to Abel, the shortstop, who walked and scored in that big first inning. 7 Eagles scored. Standiford, Tobin, Caldwell, Cherry, Abel, Wolfel, and Allen. Courtesy runner for Allen, but they all scored 7 runs in the first. And now we're in the second inning. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, 1 out. Abel wears number 13. The pitch on the way. Inside, off the plate.
Notice a lot of these CM batters are really patient at the plate. They don't try and overextend themselves and just kind of swing at whatever's coming across at them.
Throw over to first and the runner back. That's Cherry at first with 1 down. Second inning, and CM today trying to go to 11-2 on the year. Here's the pitch, swinging a ground ball, base hit into right field as Abel goes the other way, hits behind the runner Cherry, who stops at second base. But now 7 runs, 7 hits, 2 hits in the inning.
The Eagles really just doing a good job of putting the ball in play and making contact with putting the bat on the ball. Nothing fancy. We're not seeing any long line drives that may be going over the fence. Just solid ground balls and some line drives into the alleys, and a couple of errors by Metro East Lutheran. Really giving the Eagles a good lead here.
CM started the season at 6-0 when they split a doubleheader with Staunton on Saturday, April the 11th. So that's one of their losses to Staunton, 5-4. Their other loss was to the O'Fallon Panthers. 9-3 was the score in that one, but since losing to O'Fallon, now they've won 3 in a row again. Strike called to Thomas Wolfel on the outside corner. RBI single for Wolfel, his first time up. Two on, 1 out. Pitch over but low, ball 2.
Wolfel taking the sign from Coach Bruning at third base.
Stretch by Hoffman, the pitcher. And he brings another one in there. Swing and a miss. Rising fastball, strike 2.
Wolfel just couldn't quite catch up to that one. Instructions remain the same from Coach Bruning.
Runners with their leads at first and second base. Curveball, foul ball, still 2-2.
Seeing a lot of foul balls pop back. Somebody's going to end up getting hit.
Heads up. Well, another 2-2 pitch. Fly ball into right center field. That one's going to get in the gap. Right fielder cuts it off, but that's a hit. A run will score. The other runner to third. It's another RBI single for Wolfel. It's 8-0.
That's a good rip that time by Wolfel. Really got some power on that one to drive it right into the alley. Really, nobody had a chance to make a play on the ball. The right fielder was able to get it on a one hop, but by then it was too late. We've got a runner at third now with another RBI for Wolfel, his third.
Now Allen An RBI single the first time up. He was the first hitter that Hoffman faced when he came in relief in the first inning. So Allen 1 for 1 with that RBI, and he takes strike one here. Here comes another. Outside corner, strike two. Allen, left-handed hitting catcher. Where's number 11? Up close to the plate. Trying to get good plate coverage here at 0-2. Inside corner, strike three called. Some good pitches that time anyway for Hoffman.
So the first strikeout of the day for Metro East Lutheran comes at the for the 8th hitter of CM. 2 down now for the Eagles.
And McKinney will see what he can do. He's 1 for 1. And McKinney was stranded at third base back in the first inning after his hit. And it's ball one to the number 9 hitter.
Metro East Lutheran is looking to get out of this, only giving up 1 run this inning. They will take that, I'm sure.
7 runs in the first and now 1 run in the second inning, and we have an 8-0 ball game here in the second. And another pitch, sidearm delivery, foul ball, tapped third base side, strike two. And so Hoffman trying to get one more strike here and move on to the third inning in Bethalto. It's Jack McKinney at the dish. And the pitch, low in the dirt. Good block by the new catcher, Scheiman. 2-2 the count. Andy Scheiman wears number 7 for the green. The Knights with a record of 8-5. Here's the pitch from Hoffman. Sidearm delivery, fouled straight back again by McKinney.
Nice cut that time by McKinney, just a little behind it. Able to get to make a little bit of contact.
And stay alive at 2-2 with 2 on, 2 out. The stretch, the pitch, up and away. It's full now, 3-2. Drew Standifer, leadoff man on deck. Runner at first will be going here on a full count with 2 down. He's on the move. Ground ball to third. Third baseman has it. From one knee, he throws over and safe at first. Good try there. Shimkus did all he could do behind the bag at third. Went down to one knee and then fired it across. And McKinney beats it out. It's another run scoring, and it's 9-0.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. It was a good effort by the third baseman. He made a good stop and a great throw from his knees, just not in time to get the runner.
That'll bring in Standifer. He hits one to right at the right fielder. Simon Hoffman makes the catch, and that's the end of the CM second inning. They scored 2 runs in the second inning. The Eagles tack on 2. And after 2 innings now, they lead Metro East 9-0. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Make life easy for yourself at the United Methodist Village.
With no more stairs and no more home upkeep in a spacious apartment or villa home, with no upfront endowment and just 1 monthly fee, you stay in control of your finances. Now that's easy and smart. Countryside living that is fun, neighborly, and only minutes from the Clark Bridge. The United Methodist Village, where living is easy.
I only wish I'd have moved here sooner.
Metro East Lutheran Knights back to the plate here as we go to the third inning now. Perez back to the mound for the Eagles, and he will face the top of the order. And left-handed batter digs in. Trevor Engelke, the center fielder. Engelke walked in the first inning against Perez. The only walk that he's allowed. Perez has allowed 2 singles, no runs. Struck out 1 in the first 2 innings, and it's 2-0 here to Engelke, left-handed hitter again. On deck, the new first baseman, Andrew Langendorf. Pitch to Engelke, a strike call. 9-0. The Eagles lead the Knights. Third inning. Perez gets the sign from Allen, the catcher, and it's on the way. Swing and a miss. Good fastball, 2-2.
Perez doing a good job of trying to keep the batter guessing. He's got a little bit of an off-speed pitch he's used a few times.
Engelke from the left side, and he calls time. The umpire gives him timeout. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tobin in left, Caldwell in center, McKinney in right for the purple and gold. Standifer at third, Abel at short, Wolfel at second, Johns at first. Allen the catcher, Perez the pitcher. Big breaking ball, and it comes in a little high above the letters, 3-2.
Yeah, we've seen him use that pitch a few times. Used it several times in the first inning, really, and I think he's having his release point just a little too high. As you said, it comes in kind of high and breaks just a little bit high in the strike zone as he walks Engelke.
Up and away for ball 4. So his 2 walks have come to the leadoff hitter, Engelke. He's walked twice, and here comes Langendorf now. Tall, and I mean tall, right-handed hitter. Where's number 12 as he gets ready from the right side? Throw over to first and the runner back. Here's the stretch by Perez. Fires a strike on the outside corner. Joe McCall will be next. Started out as the catcher, but is now out in left field. Here's the pitch. Swinging a fly ball, short left center field, long run, diving play, and a grab by Caldwell. He'll throw to first, and it's going to be a double play. What a diving catch in short center field by Devin Caldwell as he had to come a long, long way.
Yeah, it's an amazing job there by Caldwell, just charging at it, and we talked about how difficult it is to field these fly balls out here today with the wind changing directions the way it has and the bright sun, but a great diving catch by Caldwell. And how about the throw to first base? It was a laser. The base runner, I don't think, had a clue what was going on. He should have really never left the base until he knew for sure it hit the ground. So the Eagles, nice defensive play there.
And that's 2 outs, and there's a hit, of course. When you see a double play, sometimes you'll see a base hit to follow, and Joe McCall singles to left field, and that'll bring in Dusty Shimkus, the third baseman.
Number 40, third baseman, Dusty Shimkus.
So a walk in the inning, a single in the inning, but also a double play in the inning. On that short fly, looping liner to short center field.
Without that throw to first base, too, I mean, we'd be having Metro East would be having a man in scoring position and possibly looking at getting a run on the board here finally this inning. So the importance.
Fly ball deep to left. Left fielder there, though. The wind knocks that one down a little bit for Tobin, and he makes the catch in left field to end the inning. 1 hit, 1 left, and we're in the middle of the third inning now. 9-0. CM leading Metro East Lutheran. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
My dentist is like part of the family. He's always gone out of his way to make things as painless as possible for me. He's kind of like my American Family Insurance agent. Whenever I've got a problem, my agent solves it quickly, and it never requires Novocaine. I think my dentist could take some pointers from my agent. American Family Insurance. The family you choose.
American Family Insurance.
For all your protection under one roof, call Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance.
Body Shop? Andy's Auto Body on Broadway in Alton.
Welcome back to Bethalto. Trevor Shaw and Brent Birkland back with you here. RiverBender.com here too as we roll on. You're in tune to WBGZ Alton. Tobin, Caldwell, and Johns due up here against Chris Hoffman, new second baseman Isaac Schober. Into the game for Barry. Looks like that's the only change for the Knights. Tobin takes a strike, and it's 1-1. Tobin has a couple of RBIs already in the first 2 innings. Actually, those 2 RBIs coming in his 2 at-bats in the first inning as they sent 12 to the plate, and it was a 7-run first inning for CM. They lead 9-0 now.
Now they're really just trying to maintain that momentum they've had so far at the plate. Several guys reaching base and getting in to score runs.
Strike called on the inside corner, and it's 2-2 to Zach Tobin. Devin Caldwell on deck. 7 runs in the first, and then CM with 2 runs in the second inning. Now bottom of the third inning. Chris Hoffman brings it home, and outside and low, ball 3. The Eagles at the plate have 1 walk today. That was Trampy that gave up the walk, starter. Ground ball slowly hit to third. Third baseman charging hard and out at first. A roller on the grass there, but Shimkus got to it quickly.
Yeah, good job by Shimkus to charge the ball and make sure he gets a good solid throw over to first before Tobin can beat it out. And Tobin's got some wheels. We saw him go from first to second earlier with some good speed. Just not able to leg it out that time.
That'll bring in right-handed hitting Devin Caldwell. Had 2 at-bats in the first inning, but he was 0 for 2 in that inning. Reached on an error and then lined out to the shortstop and takes ball 1 here. It's 1-0.
So far has the play of the game, though, in the outfield.
And he pops one into center field. Center fielder charging hard, and the right fielder and center fielder look at each other, and it drops between them in short right center field. Caldwell at second base with a bloop double, but a ball that should have been caught.
Yeah, just got to have better communication between your center fielder and your right fielder. Somebody's got to take control and, say, I got it. Just take control and make the catch. It's probably the third time we've seen that happen today, was the ball just falls in between 2 players from Metro East Lutheran.
And that will bring in Sam Johns, 0 for 2. He's got a fly out to right and a ground out to short. And down and in, ball 1. So Caldwell at second with a bloop double. He scored a run back in the first after reaching on an error. Swing and a foul off the end of the bat and off to the right. Out of play. Chris Hoffman brings in another swing and a fly ball to the right side again. First baseman into foul territory and over the shoulder. He cannot make the play. Langendorf Couldn't come up with it. It's a strike in foul territory.
We've seen several times Metro East Lutheran have opportunities to make plays, whether it be pop-up foul balls or pop-up fair balls, but balls that are in play, and they just defensively are killing themselves, shooting themselves in the foot.
Sam Johns with another life, 2 strikes. Now he ducks out of the way of a pitch up and in off of his bat and goes to the Metro East dugout, first base side, foul ball. Again, if you're checking out RiverBender.com, the picture's coming from the roof of the first base dugout. Dan Gonzalez up there doing a great job, and pitch inside for a ball. And now we are at 3-2. Caldwell at second. Pitch on the way home. Ground ball toward third. Fair ball. Long throw for Shimkus. He got him. Now the runner going to third. Safe there, and that's the second out of the inning. The runner taking third. Caldwell after the throw across to get Johns.
Well, Johns with the little blooper down the third base line there, and a good throw by Shimkus to get the out at first, but the runner does still advance and threatening to score here now in the bottom of the third. That would give the Eagles a 10-run lead.
7 in the first, 2 in the second inning. And here in the third inning, the Eagles have 2 outs, no runs home, but a runner at third as Cherry takes a strike. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning and scored a run, then an infield single in the second inning, and he scored a run. And a pop-up this time in foul territory. Third base dugout, and it's going to get into the dugout for the Eagles there as they scatter. And a foul ball makes it 0-2 now. Cherry, the designated hitter today, in the number 5 hole for Antonio Perez, the pitcher. Again, tomorrow we have Shells and Oilers. Baseball at 4 o'clock. And then it'll be softball on tape delay after that at about 6:15. And there's strike 3 called outside corner. And Cherry watched it go by, and Hoffman has his second strikeout. Both called third strikes. And now we go to the 4th inning. That's the end of 3 here in Bethalto. It's all Eagles. CM 9-0 over Metro East Lutheran. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Toyota has more cars with an EPA highway estimate over 30 miles per gallon than any other car company on the road today. Camry, Matrix, Corolla, Yaris, Solara, and Prius. So no matter how high gas prices get, you can keep moving forward.
Business owners all around the Riverbend have been turning to Chuck West Agency for over 46 years for help with employee benefits, retirement planning, and life insurance solutions. Retirement planning is one of the most crucial concerns for business owners and employees, so let Chuck West Agency help you find sound, innovative ways to meet these challenges. Give Chuck West a call at 618-462-6880 or email info@chuckwestagency.com.
CM still with the same lineup. Allen the catcher, Perez the pitcher, Standifer behind the bag at third, Abel deep at short, Woeful at second, Johns over at first base. Breaking ball low and away off the plate. Catcher was set up way outside. It's 1-2.
When CM's got a good thing going, too, I wouldn't imagine they would change their lineup until maybe it's time for Perez to sit down if his arm gets a little tired, but he really hasn't thrown a lot of pitches.
Foul ball off to the right and out of play. The outfield still the same, too. Tobin in left, Caldwell in center, McKinney in right. Tomorrow, that big game here in Bethalto against the Mascoutah Indians in the Valley. Then Friday night at Granite City, Swing and a miss. Took something off and struck him out.
Nice job that time by Perez to kind of know what the batter's, expecting. Probably looking for a fastball in a situation like that. And like you said, took a little off and he got ahead of it. Perez's second K of the game.
2 walks and 2 strikeouts now for Perez in the ball game. He's given up 3 hits, no runs, and here's Chris Hoffman. Started out in left field, but was the relief pitcher in the very first inning. Left-handed batter waits on Perez, the right-handed pitcher. The next one on the way. It's up and in for a ball. 2-0 the count. Hoffman had a single his first time up. Next up, the new second baseman, Isaac Schober. Right now it's Hoffman at 2-0. Foul ball, 2-1.
Yeah, you mentioned Hoffman coming in the bottom of the first in relief, and really since then, even though the Eagles have scored a couple of runs, it seems like the defense is a little bit more confident, and he's kind of calmed things down a little bit after that 7-run first inning.
2-1 pitch now from Perez with 1 out. Swinging a foul ball back. It's 2-2. The Eagles will have 3 conference games next week. And it'll all start on Monday when the big bad Highland Bulldogs will be here, and we'll be here too to bring you play-by-play. Monday afternoon. Here comes another from Perez. Line drive into right center field, and Caldwell will cut it off and hold it to a single, but Hoffman 2 for 2.
Nice rip that time by Hoffman. Hitting it into the gap in right center field there. Caldwell not able to make another miraculous catch. This one a little bit too low to get underneath. And Metro East Lutheran still has some life.
Left-handed batter. For the first time, Schober gets a chance to hit in place of Brian Berry in the lineup, number 7 hole. And then catcher Scheiman on deck. He started out as the designated hitter, but then came in and on defense early in the game. Perez looks in, gets a sign here at 1 ball, no strikes. With 1 on and 1 out. Throw over to first and the runner back.
Perez seems to be a little concerned about the runner at first base. A couple of pickoff attempts, but
swing and a miss. 1-1 now.
I think with the lead that that you've got, if you're Perez, I would concentrate on the men at the plate. But you've already got 1 down. You've got pretty good command out there of your stuff.
Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Had a weak swing at that one. He was fooled. Strike 2.
Yeah, a little hesitant there. You need to commit if you're going to swing. He may have been able to get a piece of it. You never know. But yeah, just a kind of a lackadaisical cut that time by the batter.
Swing and a foul back. And he stays alive with 2 strikes and a ball. Mention we'll be here Monday when Highland is in town. We'll also be here next Thursday night under the lights. And they play a makeup game against Jerseyville from an earlier rainout. That'll be next Thursday, the 30th. 7 o'clock start. Pitch is low in the dirt, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes with 1 on, 1 out. Perez looks in again. Allen with the sign again. Pitch is inside, ball 3. Again, the catcher, big, tall Andy Shyman on deck. He could bat with 2 on here. We'll see. 3-2 count. Runner not going. Swing and a miss. Up high. Swung at ball 4, but it's 2 outs.
Second K of the inning for Perez. It's his 4th of the game. And I was just about to say that the Eagles had a chance at a double play if he puts this one on the ground, but Perez took care of it himself.
2 outs now, and catcher Andy Shyman at the dish. Here's the pitch from Perez. Inside, off the plate. Ball 1. Shyman at the number 8 hole in the batting order. Pitch on the way. Swinging a pop-up. Into right field it goes. Jack McKinney is there. He's under it. He has it. And that ends the inning. Couple of strikeouts. 1 hit, 1 left. 4 hits now in the game for Metro East. We're in the middle of the 4th inning. The Eagles lead the Knights 9-0. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Does your auto insurance meet your needs? Is your homeowner's policy covering everything you need it to? Call your local farmer's agent, Lou Mauser, today. He can review your coverages and identify potential gaps and let you know how Farmers Insurance can cover all your insurance needs. Call Farmers Insurance agent Lou Mauser today at 463-7570 or stop by his office that is located across the road from Alton High School. When you need the best insurance at reasonable prices, think of your local Farmers Insurance agent, Lou Mauser.
We're defined by what we pass on to the next generation. The ConocoPhillips Wood River Refinery is a proud neighbor of the Riverbend region. Their employees produce and distribute quality refined products throughout the Midwest in an environmentally safe manner. By using innovative refining processes, they are ready to meet the energy challenges of the future, so we can pass on what matters most to the ones who matter most. ConocoPhillips, energy for tomorrow.
CM Eagles as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, and the Eagles with a 9-0 lead. 7 runs in the first inning got the Eagles started here today. 7 in the first, 2 in the second inning, and 9-0 here as Jesse Abel strolls in to start the bottom of the 4th. With Trevor Shaw, Brent Birkland back with you here, and there's a ball inside from the right-hander Chris Hoffman.
Mentioned things have slowed down a little bit for the Eagles offensively since Hoffman came into the game in the bottom of the 1st.
There's a chopper to third. Shimkus again, out again at first, 1 down.
Number 6, second baseman, Thomas.
That's kind of interesting. You look at the 2 pitchers. Trampy gave up 6 runs, only 3 hits. Hoffman has given up 7 hits, but only 3 runs.
Yeah, like we talked about this in the last inning. It seems like the defense gained more confidence somehow when Hoffman came in, just less mental errors. You had a handful of throwing errors in that first inning that really kind of hurt Trampy's numbers, giving up the 6 runs. But sometimes that's just, if you have more confidence in one pitcher than another.
Thomas Wolfel, the batter here. RBI single in the first inning. RBI single in the second inning. He's 2 for 2. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball right down the line. Fair ball off of Shimkus's glove into short left field, and that was right on the line. Almost hit the bag, and he's 3 for 3.
And Wolfel was being waved to take second base, but he stopped about, 3 or 4 steps past first base. A little hesitant. He probably could have made it into a double. But the way the Eagles are hitting today, they are advancing runners all day long. I would imagine Wolfel's got a chance at getting to second here some way.
Lefty Sam Allen, the catcher, swings and foul tips the first one. Strike 1. Allen, RBI single and a strikeout, 1 for 2. There's a chopper towards short. Brynildson has it, steps on the bag, fires to first for a double play. Good play by the shortstop for Metro East, and that double play ends the 4th inning. We'll go to the 5th, 9-0 CM. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
What do I have to do to sell you a car?
Roberts Motors. Easy to get to, just off Highway 67 or Highway 3 in Alton.
So we'll retire to the mountains.
Oh, but I love the ocean.
There are places you want to get to in life, like retirement. And now your State Farm agent can help guide you with the free State Farm Insurance and Financial Review to prioritize your needs and help you plan a roadmap for your financial future.
Come on, nothing beats pine trees.
Except for palm trees.
Call and schedule yours today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Contact Tom Lane to lay out your roadmap to retirement today at 377-8912 across from Gino's 140 Club in Bethalto.
Back live at the Bethalto Sports Complex. The CM Eagles on top, 9-0. Those 9 runs coming in the first 2 innings. We now go to the 5th inning. Metro East Lutheran, number 9 hitter, Simon Hoffman leads things off. Then we'll go to the top of the order again against Antonio Perez, who has a 4-hit shutout. He's allowed 1 hit in each inning, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, but no runs yet.
Now you jinxed him because you said the SO word.
Shutout?
Yeah, you're not supposed to say that.
Looking good right now. He throws ball 1 to Hoffman. We're underway in the 5th inning. Perez has struck out 3 and walked 2 to go along with the 4 hits allowed. Here's another from Perez. Swing and a miss. Top of the order, waiting on deck, Trevor Engelkey, and Engelkey has the 2 walks given up by Perez today. Breaking ball, he was going to bunted through it, strike 2.
Not quite sure why why Metro East's coach wants a bunt. I mean, I can understand if you have a guy in scoring position, you want to move him over, but these guys just need to try and find a way to get some guys on base to manufacture some runs to close that gap.
Swing and a foul tip, and off of the umpire it looked like. Maybe the catcher and the umpire. Foul ball at home plate. Allen will visit Perez on the mound for a moment. And the number 9 hitter, Hoffman, ready for another. He's a right-handed batter. For the head coach, Scott Downing. For Metro East. Breaking ball low in the dirt, 2-2 now. Simon Hoffman 0 for 1. Had a pop foul to the first baseman Johns back in the 2nd inning. Pop up. Ground ball foul, third base side. Still 2-2. Eagles 10-2 on the year. Looking for their 4th win in a row here today. After beating the Shells and the Oilers the last couple of days. They swept Roxana Saturday and then in a doubleheader, and then beat Wood River yesterday. 3-2 now to Hoffman. Payoff pitch, swing and a foul. We'll do it again.
Hoffman battling in there, making Perez work for it. Now he's got a couple of he fouled a couple of them off. Now he just wants to try and put one in play. See if he can help his team get a man on.
3-2 again. Swing and a foul again. Do it again.
Well, that's 3 straight. We'll see if Perez can come up with something to keep Hoffman guessing here. We saw him use a couple of off-speed pitches last inning to get a couple of Ks.
Three-two. Perez looks in, gets the sign. And here it comes, up and away, outside, and a walk to the leadoff man in the 5th.
Number 6, center fielder, Trevor Engelke.
So 3 walks, 3 strikeouts now for Perez.
And with a man on and your leadoff guy at the plate, you're about to go through the heart of the order. Would be a good chance here for Metro East Lutheran to try and come up with some sort of rally.
Ball just outside to the left-handed hitter. Engelke has walked twice. Once on 3-2 and another on maybe both of them on a full count, 3-2.
Well, Engelke, one of their smaller hitters, his strike zone so hard to really hit.
Here's the pitch. Down and in for a ball. And Langendorf due up next. First baseman. There's a ball low. 3-0 now from Perez.
And Perez having a little trouble finding the strike zone here.
Perez looks in, gets the sign, and pitch coming. It's up and away, a 4-pitch walk, and that's back-to-back walks with nobody out.
First baseman, Andrew Langendorf.
2 walks here in the 5th inning, and that will bring in Langendorf, the first baseman. But assistant coach Nick Smith on his way to the mound to talk to Perez, the catcher, the infielders, all meeting on the mound as Smith will visit Perez here in the 5th inning.
And he may be coming out. We'll see what Smith has to say to him out there, but he's had some trouble locating the strike zone with these last 2 hitters.
Well, 9-0 score. CM on top here in the 5th inning, and now Langendorf gets a chance to bat. Then it's the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. McCall on deck. But right now, Langendorf will face Perez with nobody out.
Well, just a little pep talk from Coach Smith and see if he can help him figure out how to hit that strike zone again.
Couple of walks here to start the top of the 5th. Perez looks in, gets the sign, and we're ready to go again. Here's the next. Down in the dirt, ball 1.
That's his 6th straight ball that he's thrown.
1-0 pitch. It's inside and low, 2-0.
And if Perez happens to walk the bases loaded here, that really puts the Metro East Lutheran team in a very interesting situation.
Ball 3 is high. 3-0 now. Perez, the stretch. And the pitch. Strike on the outside corner.
He just barely found that outside corner there, and he was kind of lucky that he did.
Well, it's 3-1 now. Nobody out. Pitch on the way. Ball 4 inside. The bases are loaded. 3 walks in a row, and here comes head coach Gary Bruning. He's going to talk to the home plate umpire here and maybe make a double switch. Let's see what they do. And looks like Drew Standifer is going to leave third base and head to the bullpen. So there will be a new third baseman, it looks like, here. And Perez will stay on the mound, at least for now. And so in this 9-0 game, Drew Standifer will warm up in the bullpen. We may see him before this inning is over.
And it looks right now like Perez is playing a little catch with the new third baseman. Maybe they're going to try and buy some time here to let Standifer get his arm warmed up and bring him in now. I don't know if Bruning is going to let Perez face another batter after walking 3 in a row. The last thing you want to do here is walk a run in.
I think he's going to face at least one. We'll see if he faces any more than one here. It is McCall at the dish. McCall, the left fielder, started out as the catcher here today, but been out in left field for the last couple of innings. And he has 2 singles. He's 2 for 2.
And with no outs, Perez and the defense has a force out at every base. Hopefully if they could get a ground ball, they could maybe even turn 2.
Perez brings it home, and it's a strike at the knees, 0-1.
And he found the strike zone finally there after struggling the last 3 hitters.
Oh, 1 pitch, swinging a foul, strike 2. Nobody out, bases loaded. 3 walks in a row to start the 5th.
Wouldn't it be something to see Perez get himself out of this jam?
CM hoping that get out of the 5th inning with maybe just a run or 2, and that's it. When you're up by 9, this one's low and away in the dirt. 9-0 score. 1 ball, 2 strikes to McCall, right-handed batter. Right-handed pitcher, Perez, brings it in. Swinging a chop foul, third base side.
Perez throwing a lot of pitches in this inning.
2 strikes and a ball. He walked Hoffman, he walked Engelke, and then walked Langendorf. Bases full of Knights. Nobody out. 1-2 pitch. Foul ball back, and it's still 1-2.
Well, Perez can find a way to slip one by him here, get that first out. Maybe he can relax a little bit out on the mound.
Way out in front of this hitter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the breaking ball, way outside, 2-2.
And he has had trouble locating that breaking ball at times today. The release point just a little high and comes in just a little bit above the chest area.
2-2 now on the way home. Up and away, ball 3. 5 walks given up by Perez, 3 again this inning.
McCall doing a good job hanging in there and making Perez work for it.
Now a payoff pitch, 3-2 delivery, swinging a fly ball, left field. Left fielder Tobin under it. The runner tags at third, and he's going to come home. The ball's cut off. Throw home not in time. That's a sacrifice fly. RBI, 9-1. Metro East on the board.
Good throw that time by Tobin to get it into the cutoff man immediately and only limit the damage to just 1 run after a long fly ball there. And Bruning looks to be coming to the mound.
And a slow walk for the head coach, who will bring in a new pitcher, Perez. Works into the 5th inning here today, and he leaves with a 9-1 lead. Back with the new pitcher and the pitching change in a moment. CM on top of Metro East, 9-1 in the 5th. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
There's a long pass. It looks like it's going to be overthrown. Oh, the receiver dashes under the ball and makes the catch. Touchdown!
Where did he get that extra burst of speed? That off-season training really paid off.
Alton Memorial Hospital's Human Motion Institute Sports Performance helps athletes maximize their potential and improve their game. With sports performance training, you'll leap higher, run faster, and throw farther. Learn more at altonmemorialhospital.org. Human Motion Institute Sports Performance, building better athletes.
Hi, George Weber. Weber Chevrolet's year-end clearance is underway, making now a great time to save money when you buy and when you drive. Through the end of the month, we are offering the highest sales incentives of the year, and no matter what you hear in the media, believe me, our financing is still as available and aggressive as it's ever been, if not more. Combine that with our great incentives, and you have the lowest payments of the year. And that's just the start of the great values at Weber Chevrolet in Granite City, Illinois. Or check us out on the web at webergc.com.
Back live at the Bethalto Sports Complex. The CM Eagles on top, 9-0. Those 9 runs coming in the first 2 innings. We now go to the 5th inning. Metro East Lutheran, number 9 hitter Simon Hoffman leads things off. Then we'll go to the top of the order again against Antonio Perez, who has a 4-hit shutout. He's allowed 1 hit in each inning, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, but no runs yet.
Now you jinxed him because you said the SO word.
Shutout?
Yeah, you're not supposed to say that.
Looking good right now. He throws ball 1 to Hoffman. We're underway in the 5th inning. Perez has struck out 3 and walked 2 to go along with the 4 hits allowed. Here's another from Perez. Swing and a miss. Top of the order. Waiting on deck, Trevor Engelkey. And Engelkey has the 2 walks given up by Perez today. Breaking ball, he was going to bunted through it, strike 2.
Not quite sure why why Metro East's coach wants a bunt. I mean, I can understand if you have a guy in scoring position, you want to move him over, but these guys just need to try and find a way to get some guys on base to manufacture some runs to close that gap.
Swing and a foul tip, and off of the umpire, it looked like maybe the catcher and the umpire. Foul ball at home plate. Allen will visit Perez on the mound for a moment. And the number 9 hitter, Hoffman, ready for another. He's a right-handed batter. For the head coach, Scott Downing. For Metro East. Breaking ball low in the dirt, 2-2 now. Simon Hoffman 0 for 1. Had a pop foul to the first baseman Johns back in the 2nd inning. Pop up. Ground ball foul, third base side. Still 2-2. Eagles 10-2 on the year. Looking for their 4th win in a row here today. After beating the Shells and the Oilers the last couple of days. They swept Roxana Saturday and then in a doubleheader and then beat Wood River yesterday. 3-2 now to Hoffman. Payoff pitch, swing and a foul. We'll do it again.
Hoffman battling in there, making Perez work for it. Now he's got a couple of he fouled a couple of them off. Now he just wants to try and put one in play. See if he can help his team get a man on.
3-2 again. Swing and a foul again. Do it again.
Well, that's 3 straight. We'll see if Perez can come up with something to keep Hoffman guessing here. We saw him use a couple of off-speed pitches last inning to get a couple of Ks.
Three, 2. Perez looks in, gets the sign. And here it comes, up and away, outside, and a walk to the leadoff man in the 5th.
Number 6, center fielder, Trevor Engelke.
So 3 walks, 3 strikeouts now for Perez.
And with a man on and your leadoff guy at the plate, you're about to go through the heart of the order. It would be a good chance here for Metro East Lutheran to try and come up with some sort of rally.
Ball just outside to the left-handed hitter. Engelke has walked twice. Once on 3-2 and another on maybe both of them on a full count, 3-2.
Well, Engelke, one of their smaller hitters, his strike zone so hard to really hit.
Here's the pitch. Down and in for a ball. And Langendorf due up next. First baseman. There's a ball low. 3-0 now from Perez.
And Perez having a little trouble finding the strike zone here.
Perez looks in, gets the sign, and pitch coming. It's up and away, a 4-pitch walk, and that's back-to-back walks with nobody out.
First baseman, Andrew Langendorf.
2 walks here in the 5th inning, and that will bring in Langendorf, the first baseman, but assistant coach Nick Smith on his way to the mound to talk to Perez, the catcher, the infielders, all meeting on the mound as Smith will visit Perez here in the 5th inning.
And he may be coming out. We'll see what Smith has to say to him out there, but he's had some trouble locating the strike zone with these last 2 hitters.
Well, 9-0 score. CM on top here in the 5th inning, and now Langendorf gets a chance to bat. Then it's the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. McCall on deck. But right now, Langendorf will face Perez with nobody out.
Well, just a little pep talk from Coach Smith and see if he can help him figure out how to hit that strike zone again.
Couple of walks here to start the top of the 5th. Perez looks in, gets the sign, and we're ready to go again. Here's the next. Down in the dirt, ball 1.
That's his 6th straight ball that he's thrown.
1-0 pitch. It's inside and low, 2-0.
And if Perez happens to walk the bases loaded here, that really puts the Metro East Lutheran team in a very interesting situation.
Ball 3 is high. 3-0 now. Perez, the stretch. And the pitch. Strike on the outside corner.
He just barely found that outside corner there, and he was kind of lucky that he did.
Well, it's 3-1 now. Nobody out. Pitch on the way. Ball 4 inside. The bases are loaded. 3 walks in a row, and here comes head coach Gary Bruning. He's going to talk to the home plate umpire here and maybe make a double switch. Let's see what they do. And looks like Drew Standifer is going to leave third base and head to the bullpen. So there will be a new third baseman, it looks like, here. And Perez will stay on the mound, at least for now. And so in this 9-0 game, Drew Standifer will warm up in the bullpen. We may see him before this inning is over.
And it looks right now like Perez is playing a little catch with the new third baseman. Maybe they're going to try and buy some time here to let Standifer get his arm warmed up and bring him in now. I don't know if Bruning is going to let Perez face another batter after walking 3 in a row. The last thing you want to do here is walk a run in.
I think he's going to face at least one. We'll see if he faces any more than one here. It is McCall at the dish. McCall, the left fielder, started out as the catcher here today, but been out in left field for the last couple of innings. And he has 2 singles. He's 2 for 2.
And with no outs, Perez and the defense has a force out at every base. Hopefully if they could get a ground ball, they could maybe even turn 2.
Perez brings it home, and it's a strike at the knees, 0-1.
And he found the strike zone finally there after struggling the last 3 hitters.
Oh, 1 pitch, swinging a foul, strike 2. Nobody out, bases loaded. 3 walks in a row to start the 5th.
Wouldn't it be something to see Perez get himself out of this jam?
CM hoping that get out of the 5th inning with maybe just a run or 2, and that's it. When you're up by 9, this one's low and away in the dirt. 9-0 score. 1 ball, 2 strikes to McCall, right-handed batter. Right-handed pitcher, Perez, brings it in. Swinging a chop foul, third base side.
Perez throwing a lot of pitches in this inning.
Two strikes and a ball. He walked Hoffman, he walked Engelke, and then walked Langendorf. Bases full of Knights. Nobody out. 1-2 pitch. Foul ball back, and it's still 1-2.
Well, Perez can find a way to slip one by him here, get that first out. Maybe he can relax a little bit out on the mound.
Way out in front of this hitter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the breaking ball, way outside, 2-2.
And he has had trouble locating that breaking ball at times today. The release point just a little high and comes in just a little bit above the chest area.
Two now on the way home. Up and away, ball 3. 5 walks given up by Perez, 3 again this inning.
McCall doing a good job hanging in there and making Perez work for it.
Now a payoff pitch, 3-2 delivery, swinging a fly ball, left field. Left fielder Tobin under it. The runner tags at third, and he's going to come home. The ball's cut off. Throw home not in time. That's a sacrifice fly, RBI, 9-1. Metro East on the board.
Good throw that time by Tobin to get it into the cutoff man immediately and only limit the damage to just 1 run after a long fly ball there. And Bruning looks to be coming to the mound.
And a slow walk for the head coach, who will bring in a new pitcher, Perez. works into the 5th inning here today, and he leaves with a 9-1 lead. Back with the new pitcher and the pitching change in a moment. CM on top of Metro East, 9-1 in the 5th. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Make life easy for yourself at the United Methodist Village.
With no more stairs and no more home upkeep in a spacious apartment or villa home, with no upfront endowment and just one monthly fee, you stay in control of your finances. Now that's easy and smart. Countryside living that is fun, neighborly, and only minutes from the Clark Bridge. The United Methodist Village, where living is easy.
I only wish I'd have moved here sooner.
Trevor Shaw and Brent Birkland back with you now. New pitcher is Drew Standifer, and Antonio Perez, the starting pitcher, will slide over to third base. He'll be at third, and on the mound it's Standifer to face Dusty Shimkus. Metro East with 2 on and 1 out, and they've scored their first run of the day today. There's strike 1 to Shimkus. Number 4 hitter, cleanup man for Metro East Lutheran. The pitch, swinging a line drive, base hit into right field. Right fielder McKinney grabs it, drops it, but gets it right back in. The bases are loaded. The Knights will stop at each base on a base hit to right.
Number 24, shortstop, Matt Branielson.
So the Knights of Metro East Lutheran starting to come alive here late in this game. Really struggled to put runners in scoring position through the first 4 innings, but here in the 5th, looks like they're threatening to put some more runs up on the board.
Now Standifer will face number 5 hitter, the shortstop, Matt Branielson. He grounds it to short. Out at second, on to first. Double play. 6-4-3 for the Eagles to end the 5th inning. And Metro East settles for 1 run in that inning. No hit, actually 1 hit, 3 walks, and they leave 2 on base. So we're in the middle of the 5th inning, and our score now, CM 9, Metro East Lutheran 1. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Yeah, my hairstylist is like family. When pool water turned my hair green, she came over right away. Now that kind of commitment is a lot like my American family insurance agent. When our washing machine flooded the basement, my agent showed up wearing knee-high rubber boots. My agent understands that the ultimate coverage isn't a piece of paper, it's peace of mind. American Family Insurance. The family you choose.
American Family Insurance.
For all your protection under one roof, call Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance.
Two-timing son of a...
Honey, what are you doing?
We can fix anything. Andy's Auto Body on Broadway in Alton.
Welcome back to Bethalto. CM Eagles and Metro East Lutheran Knights here. And the Eagles lead it 9-1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. And it's the bottom of the batting order for CM. Number 9 hitter, Jack McKinney, and then Standifer, top of the order, on deck. CM looking to improve to 11-2. This big lead, 9 runs, all coming in their first 2 at-bats. And Chris Hoffman, who's been in relief since the very first inning, is still at it. So he's done a decent job in relief. And McKinney hit by a pitch, and he'll start at first base with nobody out.
7, pitcher, Drew Standiford.
Standiford now digs in. He has an RBI, single today, a run scored. He's 1 for 3 officially. That hit coming in the first inning to lead things off. Standiford, Tobin, and Caldwell, those are the 3 Eagles that all batted twice in the first inning. CM sent 12 to the plate. Runner going, swinging a ground ball, base hit into left. Hit and run, and McKinney's on his way to third as Standiford singles to left field.
Nice job to put the ball in play that time by Standiford. A ground ball right up the gap between shortstop and third base there, and now Zach Tobin at the plate, who has made it on base, I believe 3 times today, or is it 4?
Been on base a couple of times.
Some RBIs, solid outing by him today.
And first and third, nobody out. That's hit number 12 for CM. Here's the pitch, swing and a foul back, strike 1. Caldwell will be next as he chases down that foul ball behind home plate. He's on deck. Zach Tobin, number 22 on his purple jersey. Here's the pitch. Popped up on a high delivery, foul territory. First baseman wants it and has it. Langendorf grabs the pop-up, 1 out.
Number 20, center fielder.
1 out in the 5th. Now it's Devin Caldwell, who doubled his last time up into right center field. Has a run scored today. That was back in the first inning. Runners at first and third. 1 down. Sidearm up and in. Ball 1. Sam Johns will be next. He's 0 for 3. He'd like to get another chance. With runners in scoring position. Caldwell, fly ball deep to center. Center fielder, though, has a lot of room. Engelkey under it. He has it. Runner tags at third and will come home. Standiford back to first, but McKinney scores on a sac fly by Caldwell. An RBI. It's 10-1.
Nice hit that time by Caldwell into deep center field there, and the wind has died down here in the last couple of innings. Had this been in the first inning, that one would have had a chance to get to the fence, which could have possibly scored 2 runs.
Now Zach Standiford will pinch hit. He will bat for Sam Johns here, and he takes low and away, ball 1. Standiford chops one towards short. Third baseman got in the way of the shortstop maybe there as it rolled through the shortstop's legs. I thought the third baseman Shimkus might cut that one off, but everybody's safe.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. The third baseman, it looked like he definitely did interfere with the vision of the shortstop. Really, either guy probably could have came up with it had they communicated properly. And what happens is nobody communicates and nobody comes up with it, and there's an error on the field. And now the Eagles again with runners in scoring position.
And that will bring in number 30, Cherry. Cherry hits one to short. Shortstop flips to second. Out there. And the Eagles settle for 1 run in the 5th inning, and they lead it 10-1 over Metro East. We'll go to the 6th inning now in Bethalto. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Toyota has more cars with an EPA highway estimate over 30 miles per gallon than any other car company on the road today. Camry, Matrix, Corolla, Yaris, Solara, and Prius. So no matter how high gas prices get, you can keep moving forward.
Business owners all around the River Bend have been turning to Chuck West Agency for over 46 years for help with employee benefits, retirement planning, and life insurance solutions. Retirement planning is one of the most crucial concerns for business owners and employees, so let Chuck West Agency help you find sound, innovative ways to meet these challenges. Give Chuck West a call at 618-462-6880 or email info@chuckwestagency.com.
Welcome back to Bethalto with Trevor Shaw. Brent Birkeland back with you here as we roll on now into the 6 o'clock hour. A few minutes after 6, you're in tune to WBGZ Alton. Here at 6:05, we move into the 6th inning. And our score, 10-1, CM on top. And Drew Standifer in relief. He goes back in. McKinney moves into center field over from right. And out in right now, it's Adam Matthews. Matthews into the ball game. Standifer brings a strike in there. Strike one to Chris Hoffman. For Metro East Lutheran, the Knights scoring their only run of the game in their last at bat in the 5th. Ground ball to the second baseman. Wolfel there. He bobbles it, picks it up. Not enough time. That's an error on the second baseman as it was hit hard right at him and in and out of his glove.
Yeah, that one sometimes you just don't know how they're going to bounce once they get into that dirt, and it's a little bobble and just enough to allow the runner to make it to the bag.
Again, McKinney slides over to center field now, and Matthews into the game in right field as Schober hits one to short. This one takes a bad hop off of Abel and off of his left arm and behind the second base bag. May have been a double play ball, but everybody's safe again.
Yeah, that was really an ideal play for the shortstop. He really didn't even have to move. It was just a hard hit ball that he was unable to reel in, but that was prime pickings for a double play there. Little toss to second and turn it over to first, but unable to convert that time for the Eagles.
That's one of those that if you have to do it over again, you may charge it a little bit, though. He waited back on it thinking 6-4-3 double play, but there's nobody out. As this fly ball goes to short center field, it's going to drop for a base hit, and the Knights will have the bases loaded for the second inning in a row. They had bases loaded, nobody out last inning, and bases loaded, nobody out here in the 6th.
This is almost like a different Knights team we've seen here in the 5th and 6th innings. Through the first 4 innings, Metro East Lutheran could barely get a man in scoring position. Here, the last 2 innings, they've basically been playing with men and with the bases loaded.
Drew Standifer now to Simon Hoffman. Bounces this one in. Ball 1. 10-1, the Eagles lead the Knights. Top of the 6th. Standifer fires it in there, and it's back up the middle. Second baseman will tag the runner going by. Throw to first. Double play. A 4-3 double play. A run scores. It's 10-2, but there's 2 outs.
Good job by Wolfel to field the ground ball, tag the runner, heads up play there to not try and toss it back to the second baseman, and able to force the double play there. So just one more out to go for the Eagles, and kind of cleared the bases up a little bit there.
Runner to third, but now there's 2 outs. And an unearned run comes in as this inning started with a couple of errors around the infield. First 2 errors of the game for the Eagles today. Metro East with a run in the 5th, 1 in the 6th. There's a foul ball. Here in the 6th inning, it's 10-2 now. Eagles, for the second inning in a row, have a double play, too.
And really, those 2 double plays have helped get them out of some situations where Metro East Lutheran was really looking to score.
Ball 1 to Trevor Engelkey. 1-1 the count. 2 outs. Runner at third for Metro East. Drew Standifer brings it in. Foul ball off to the left. Bottom of the 6th inning, CM will have Abel, Wolfel, Allen, 6, 7, and 8 hitters. One ball, 2 strikes to the left-handed hitter. Leadoff man, swing and a miss. Tied him up in on his hands there and struck him out on an inside pitch to end the 6th inning for Metro East. 1 run, 1 hit. They leave 1 in the 6th, and our score now 10-2. The Eagles lead the Knights. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
We're defined by what we pass on to the next generation. The ConocoPhillips Wood River Refinery is a proud neighbor of the Riverbend region. Their employees produce and distribute quality refined products throughout the Midwest in an environmentally safe manner. By using innovative refining processes, they are ready to meet the energy challenges of the future, so we can pass on what matters most to the ones who matter most. ConocoPhillips, energy for tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're now approaching the island of Bora Bora. Enjoy your stay.
This beautiful home contains 8 bedrooms, 2 family rooms, and a private jacuzzi just off the master bedroom.
Hey, anybody up for a cruise in my sweet boat?
What are you going to do with all the money you save from buying your car at Roberts Motors?
Roberts Motors, in Alton or online at RobertsMotors.com.
Back to the plate, Jesse Abel, the shortstop, will bat for the 4th time today. The Eagles with a 7-run first inning. They lead right now 10-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
And really, the Eagles have been in control of this one all game long after scoring 7 runs in that first inning.
There's a ground ball to third. Shimkus has it, fires across, high throw, and that's an error on the third baseman. And on to second goes Abel. We've seen Shimkus made a lot of good plays here today and some good strong throws, but this time too high to first.
And that automatically puts a runner in scoring position for the Eagles, so you never know. You hit a hard line drive into one of these alleys. It could end the game early with the score being 10-2.
Wolfel, the batter now. He has a couple of RBIs. He's 3 for 3 in the game. And we'll see how the Eagles progress here in the 6th inning with nobody out and up by 8 runs. Wolfel with a foul ball, strike 1. Catcher Sam Allen on deck, but right now the CM second baseman. Swing and a foul ball. This one way inside, strike 2.
The CM batters have been pretty patient for the most part of the game, making the pitchers really work for it.
This one's up and in for ball 1. Well, the inning starts with an error. Nobody out. Abel at second base. Right-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. Low and away, ball 2.
And with Hoffman has been in there since the first, the bottom of the first. You never know when, arm fatigue may be setting in for him. Even though he wasn't the starter, he's been in for a good length of time as he drives it into left center.
Center fielder there, and Engelkey has it. Brings it right back in. Abel at second base still. Now there's 1 out.
Good rip that time by Wolfel, and able to drive the ball far into left center field, but unable to get on base for the first time today.
Well, that would be 5 full innings now for Hoffman in relief. Pitch is a ball to Allen, ball 1. Here's the pitch and a strike called. It's now 1-1. Allen from the left side. Here's the next. One hopper back to the pitcher. Looks the runner back. Now gets the runner in a run down between second and third. Abel going toward third. Now back to second. Shimkus following him back there, and they tag him out, and that's 2 down.
So this game's had a little bit of everything. Some errors, some strikeouts, some amazing plays in center field, and now we've had a pickle, which went to the defense's benefit.
Runner at first. Now there's 2 down, and here is Jack McKinney, who's now in center field. Taking over last inning for Caldwell. He started the game in right field, McKinney. There's a swing and a miss, strike 1. Bottom of the 6th. Metro East coming up in the 7th inning. We'll have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, and that will be their last chance to rally. There's a pop fly into right field. Second baseman out, though, and he drops the ball over his shoulder. He tried for the catch, and he dropped it. First and third, 2 on, 2 out.
Poor fielding has been the story today for Metro East Lutheran. A lot of fly balls dropped and some errant throws, a couple of bad pickoff plays, a wild pitch has been the story for Metro East Lutheran. Eagles able to capitalize on that all game long, particularly in the first.
Well, unofficially, I have 7 errors now for Metro East. 4 in the first inning, 1 last inning, and now 2 more here in the 6th. Strike 1 to Drew Standifer.
Yeah, count 7 as well for me. Again, that's unofficial.
There's a hit by pitch, and that's going to load the bases, and that'll bring in Zach Tobin here in a 10-2 ball game. A single might win the game or might finish the game if 2 runs come in.
Tobin's been able to put the ball in play a few times today, and a hard hit drive into one of the alleys could definitely end this game early, as you said.
Second batter that's been hit by a Hoffman pitch. He hit a batter last inning, too. Ball 1 to Tobin. 2 RBIs for him today. Has 1 hit. He's 1 for 4 in the game. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Took something off there. Change of pace, and it's 1-1. Bases loaded. Purple and gold at every base. 1-1 pitch, low and away. It's 2-1. Caldwell due up next, but it's now Matthews in his spot. Outfielder. 2-1 delivery. Swinging a chopper toward third. Shimkus has it. Third baseman fires to first. Out there. And the CM Eagles leave the bases loaded. They do not score in the 6th. CM leading 10-2. Back in a moment with the 7th inning from Bethalto after this. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
There's a long pass. It looks like it's going to be overthrown. Oh, the receiver dashes under the ball and makes the catch. Touchdown!
Where did he get that extra burst of speed? That off-season training really paid off.
Alton Memorial Hospital's Human Motion Institute Sports Performance helps athletes maximize their potential and improve their game. With sports performance training, you'll leap higher, run faster, and throw farther. Learn more at altonmemorialhospital.org. Human Motion Institute Sports Performance, building better athletes.
Hi, George Weber. Weber Chevrolet's year-end clearance is underway, making now a great time to save money when you buy and when you drive. Through the end of the month, we are offering the highest sales incentives of the year. And no matter what you hear in the media, believe me, our financing is still as available and aggressive as it's ever been, if not more. Combine that with our great incentives and you have the lowest payments of the year. And that's just the start of the great values at Weber Chevrolet in Granite City, Illinois. Or check us out on the web at RiverGC.com.
Well, we move along to the 7th inning now, and Drew Standifer tries to wrap things up and get a win for the starter, Antonio Perez. Perez is at third base now, Abel at short, Wolfel at second. Zach Standifer is over at first. Standifer, the pitcher, that's Drew. Allen is the catcher out in the outfield. Tobin, McKinney, and Matthews, and it's a 10-2 game. Trevor Shaw and Brent Birkland back with you as we go to the 7th now.
Top of the 7th here, and Standifer looking to close it out. And really defensively, the Eagles have been sharp all game. I don't see any reason why they can't close this out here with just a couple of batters at the plate. But you never know. The last 3, or I should say 2 innings, Metro East Lutheran's been able to find a way to load the bases, just unable to convert for any runs.
First baseman, Andrew Langdon.
1 in the 5th and 1 in the 6th. But in each of those innings, they had bases loaded, nobody out.
And each time, CM was able to find a way to turn a double play to get back in it and clear some of those base runners off of the bases.
Langendorf fouls one back, strike 1. We're underway in the 7th inning. CM 3 outs away from moving to 11-2 on the year. Allen gets the sign from the bench, relays it to Standifer. Fastball, ground ball, big hop for Perez at third. High throw, though, and he commits an error. CM with 2 errors last inning, and now they have another here in the 7th.
It was a good charge that time by Perez. Really came up on the ball good. Nice clean release, just as you said, a little bit high for the first baseman. Got to try and keep that in between the numbers. Should have been an easy out for the Eagles.
Joe McCall, the batter now. He has 2 hits and an RBI. 2 for 2. McCall at the dish. Nobody out. A lot of runners left on today. 10 for CM. 8 left on for the Knights. Inside to McCall. Ball 1.
Brushed him back off that plate just a little bit.
Metro East in jeopardy of falling to 8-6 on the year. Bounced in, wild pitch. Runner goes to second. Nobody out.
Standifer struggling a little bit to find the zone here. The first couple of hitters of this inning, but he was able to find it in the top of the 6th after a couple of men on base. Actually ended the 6th with a strikeout.
Now Perez worked into the 5th inning. 4 1/3 innings pitched. And Drew Standifer now in relief. Line drive, base hit into center field, and that's going to score a run as it gets by McKinney into right center field. He tracks it down, but it's an RBI double. McCall, 3 for 3, now has 2 RBIs.
Nice rip that time for McCall just to hit it right into center, in the gap in center field there, and a laser shot that was able to bounce past the center fielder, and he comes up with a stand-up double.
So the air comes in to score right away on the RBI double. 10-3 now. There's a strike called to Shimkus.
After giving up that double, Standifer comes in with a hard strike inside.
0-1 pitch. It's on the way home. Strike called down around the knees.
It's almost like a switch went off in Standifer's head, and he's like, I got to close this game out. Bam, strike, strike. See if he can get it again.
Nobody out. 7th inning. 0-2 pitch. Time called by the batter, it looks like.
That was pretty close to the pitch delivery there. Last time I seen something that close, Josh Beckett started throwing at a guy's head.
Runner at second base for the Knights here, and he's running. And this one is chopped toward third. Perez has to go in and out of his glove. Everybody's safe. First and third now with nobody out.
Tough play that time for Perez as he had to kind of find a way around the base runner without interfering with him. And because, of course, he makes contact with the base runner, he gets that base for free. So tough play that time for Perez.
Now Brian Nielsen, the batter, the shortstop, 0 for 3 in the game. Strikeout, a double play ball.
Well, double play ball is what the Eagles would love to see right now. They've been able to pull one out in each of the last 2 innings.
Standifer brings it in low. Ball 1 in the 7th inning. Taking a little longer than the Eagles would like, and Coach Gary Bruning would like. It was 10-2 when we started the 7th, but again, Metro East now with 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. Throw over to first and the runner back. And JV game back here is 5-5 in the 8th inning. Extra innings for them. 7th inning for us. 10-3. The Eagles lead it. Curveball strike, 1-1. First and third here. Drew Standifer brings it in low, 2-1. Chris Hoffman waits on deck. Long look by the right-handed pitcher, and now he brings it home. Low in the dirt, runner going, the throw down, bounces into second base. That's a steal. Second and third, nobody out.
Well, Allen was up on his feet and had the ball in the air, just not quite hard enough, as a little bounce before it was able to get to the shortstop who was attending to second base. So now 2 runners in scoring position for Metro East Lutheran.
The Eagles have their bullpen going now. There's a line drive to center field over the head of McKinney. That's going to score 2 for Metro East and make it a 10-5 game. Renildson on his way to third. That's a 2-run triple as he stands at third base and drives in 2. And the Eagles bullpen working a little harder and faster now.
So Metro East Lutheran doing everything they can to send this game into extra innings. A hard hit triple, farthest hit ball we've seen today. Almost made it all the way to the fence. Just a line drive into dead center field. And he really had it. He was moving on that base path as well. He was at second before I could even blink, really. And the CM Eagles are going to bring it in and discuss what they need to do to close this game out.
Now Metro East, 3 hits in a row. They're up to 9 hits in the game. And now 5 runs, 10-5 with a meeting on the mound here. And again, the bullpen loosening up. I'm not sure if that's Devin Caldwell, who pitched yesterday against the Oilers. Looks like a right-hander down there in the bullpen for the Eagles. 10-5 score, and Drew Standifer will try to get some outs here. There's still nobody out. And it's Chris Hoffman to the plate.
And the Eagles' chances at a double play ball are gone now with the bases being cleared by that triple.
3 runs here in the 7th now for Metro East. Low for a ball.
There may be more fans at the JV game looking over at the stands.
10-5 score here. The pitch. It's a strike, 1-1.
All right, so Standifer is able to find the zone there. Let's see if he can roll with it and get this batter out.
1-1 now, and the pitch on the way. Swing and a chopper toward first. First baseman scoops it up. Zach Standifer steps on the bag. First out, but that's an RBI because a run comes in on the ground out.
That's just the first out under the belt now for the Eagles, so what they need to do is just focus on getting one out at a time here. They've got a nice cushy lead.
And now with nobody on base and one out, it's a 4-run 7th inning, and it's 6 for Metro East on the board now. 10-6 our score.
And they were keeping it just close enough, chipping away in these previous innings, a run here and a run there. Really trying to make a rally here in the top of the 7th.
And one out. The first 4 reach base, and they all score, as here's a tap foul. Third base line, Brian Berry, who started out as the second baseman, went 0 for 1, is re-entering the game here and batting in the 7th inning, and it's 1-1 now. One out. It's a 4-run inning. Metro East has 6 runs in their last 3 at-bats, 3 innings.
Their bats have just really came alive here in the top of the 7th, along with a couple of errors at third base. Help them get back into it.
10-6 score. Swing and a foul. Strike 2.
Long, hard hit foul ball out of play.
CM home tomorrow against the Mascoutah Indians. Mississippi Valley Conference game, of course. 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Strikeout for Standifer, and his second since he's come into the game.
And just a hesitant swing that time. You got to commit to it all the way through. And Standifer's looks like he might be able to get out of this jam. Whoever was working in the bullpen may not be needed.
Just one more out to get now, and the Eagles will wrap up a 10-6 victory. It was 10-2 at one time, 10-1 at one time.
The Eagles had a couple of chances in the 5th and the 6th innings to end the game early with runners in scoring position to execute the 10-run rule.
Swinging a ground ball to short. That should do it. Abel has it at shortstop, and he fires across to end the inning. Metro East with a 4-run 7th inning, but they fall 4 runs short. 10-6 our final. Back with a recap in a moment. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Lou Mauser, your local farmer's insurance agent. ConocoPhillips, energy for tomorrow. Roberts Motors, the value store since 1949. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Alton Memorial Hospital, the best health care close to home. Weber Granite City Chevrolet. United Methodist Village, where living is easy. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy in Wood River, caring beyond prescriptions. Gerard Fisher American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Andy's Auto Body in Alton and Maryville, we can fix anything. Alton Toyota, Toyota makes the car, Munganast makes the difference. And the Chuck West Agency, helping business owners for over 46 years.